Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing card of the day. This is for 3/18. I'm using the Aquarian Tarot. So I did clear and shuffle it, and lo and behold, I had one fall out, and it is the Moon card, which is 18. So we also have the number 3, which is the Empress energy, the feminine, and together that is the World, which is 21, and breaks back down to 3. So this is Moon. This is a partial moon here, we've got now what's interesting is that this is a few days after the new moon, so we're dealing with a waxing moon. We're heading towards that full moon in Libra. Now, a moon inverted usually tells me sun, but we only have partial illumination here. Right, it's like the cat's not out of the bag, but maybe there's an ear poking out, right? He's crowning a little bit. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. 4 of Wands. Here it's rods. Now, for people who are in a twin flame situation, this might be highly relevant. But it's also foundational number. It's a low vibration of the Emperor. We're just a few days away from the sun in Aries, and this is like saying, it's like, set up the shit, he's coming. He's gonna be home soon. Oh, I just got a little bit of Darling Be Home Soon. Is that the 11? Wait, is that the 11 spoonful? Or is that the turtles? Oh, I'm going to get this wrong no matter what. It is the 11 spoonful. These lyrics are really important because I wasn't really sure what they were singing for like 30 some odd years until I looked it up, but it's this is really lyrically very interesting. Darling, be home soon. I couldn't bear to wait an extra minute if you dawdled. It's not just these few hours, but I've been waiting since I toddled, like a toddler, for the great relief of having you to talk to. Isn't that like it's such a strange arrangement of lyrics, but it's so profound. Like, who thought to rhyme dawdle with toddled, which is a word that we normally don't even use as a verb. Darling, be home soon. I couldn't bear to wait an extra minute. This has to do with time, right? It's like, how many more days? How many more times? Now I'm getting Led Zeppelin. That's kind of a weird transition from the Love and Spoonful to Led Zeppelin. Let me look those up. Led Zeppelin. How many more times? How many more times? Where am I? Okay. I have too many windows open at once and I lost where I was. Okay. How many more times treat me the way you want to do? When I give you all my love, please be true. I'll give you all I've got to give, rings, pearls, and all. Now, the moon is sort of a pearl essence. I've got to get you together, baby. I'm sure you're gonna crawl. That's a weird lyric, too. I was a young man, I couldn't resist, started thinking it over, just what I'd missed. Got me a girl and kissed her, and then, whoops, oh Lord, well, I did it again. Now, this is weird because it's like, now I've got 10 children of my own. I've got another child on the way that makes 11. It actually kind of sounds like, well, the next lyric's not so great, though, but it's sort of like, it kind of sounds like the guy in that song is a bit of a hoe, right? Like, not that, I mean, there's a certain vibration to hoeing, which is, um, there's no inherent badness in it, right? It's an experience. It's knowledge. But there's an aspect of it where you could be empowered in that energy and being like, I'm doing this because I feel like it expresses some aspect of myself and allows me to share with others in a way that's satisfying. But there's also this aspect of, I just want to have a lot of sex because it makes me feel like big, or I sleep around because I'm trying to fill a void in, and it's like an insatiable appetite, but instead of food, it's partners. Um, and this is something that I was thinking about for quite a while, either last night or the night before, where there's a low vibration of it and then there's a higher vibration of it, right? It was sort of like, um, it's like the difference between a whore and I think it's, the original word is heaux-ing. Let me look that up. Do, 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 do. Yeah, yeah, the heaux-ing. So what's interesting is that there's a shadow aspect that's being reviewed, but there's this idea of, there's grounding and union not that far away. Now, what I'm talking about with this energy, it's what we typically see in terms of what we would call promiscuity is from a low vibration where there isn't, um, there's no spiritual aspect, there's no, it's not like controlled like a scientific experiment. And I think the closest thing to that might be, even though it's still a low vibration, the closest thing to that would be like a swinger party where people, hopefully people are consenting, or somebody who's in a poly relationship where they go out and seek other people because there's energetic exchanges that need to happen that they don't demand or expect from one single other person. Um, but there's also a distortion with that too, because a lot of the time the people understand would be like a poly triad where like the three of them are in a relationship with each other, and then they don't they sort of might not go outside of that triad. But what I'm talking about here is, um for some reason I'm getting this idea that there's an energy of, it's weird because the darling be home soon is sort of a monogamous feeling, like where are you, like please, like I, like we are bound together, kind of, like I need you, where are you, like you are my one. And with this other energy of a shadow that deals with interacting with the many. And again, there isn't an inherent wrongness to it, but what we've seen in society is usually a very low vibration where you have, um, cult polygamy. And it's really weird because you don't normally see polyandry in society. It's a lot more rare, and I can't think of any good examples, or just any examples really. But I'm sure that it had existed at some point. But again, there's this idea of low vibration where there might not be consent, there might be emotional abuse. Um, it might be someone who's been abused doesn't know how to overcome a wound, and so they try to sort of backfill this, shadow void by having you know, multiple partners or making sexual displays when they don't come from a place of security and power. And there's, on one hand, there's this anchoring, and on the other hand, there's this idea of like, oh, the cat's out of the bag. It's like, what is it that's coming? What is the, like, we're dealing with polarities here. Um, and I think what it is that in order for there to be some kind of like overall societal relationship shift, like to where our relationships become more sacred and more meaningful, it's saying, it's like we're starting at both ends because we don't even know what the hell to do in the middle, right? Um it's like, you there who are in love, you're at a low vibration, make it count. It's like, you who are suffering and don't understand, uh it's like, let's say that even people in like monogamous relationships do this too, but there's there's a like a sexual and romantic overhaul that's happening here, which is to say, like, if you're going to be with someone or many someones, it doesn't really matter where you are, but you have to understand that you need to start dealing with the shadow and like the power that it is there, right? It's like, what is going on in the sacral chakra? What is going on in the loin region? In order to heal society to a certain level, that chakra has to be healed in a major way. And we see that there's like a rusty color here, right? The ground is orange. I mean, it's kind of red too, but, and some of it is like a root issue in society too, but it's stemming more from this sacral area where I'm even trying to, it's like, it's really hard to describe because it's so, um, it's like almost obscure. It's like the elephant in the room. Like everybody kind of knows about it, but everybody sort of talks about it in a way that isn't useful, that kind of perpetuates stereotypes and just sort of inflames a debate more until it becomes an argument. Where it's like, you can't overcome the power struggle of what you think someone is doing when they're being slutty if you never get further than saying you are a whore and you are a slut and you are a himbo and uh this kid over here, he's nothing but a piece of ass or whatever. It's like, until you sort of stop passing judgment on an energy or a style or a persona that someone is putting out in terms of how they relate romantically, sexually to other people, you can't really discuss what the underlying psychology, energy struggle, and maybe even past life trauma, ancestral trauma is that's connected to that. It's like, yes, you can like, by all means, like, Lady Godiva it, go up and down the street naked. Fine, okay, cool. But what is the energy that's harnessing that, right? Are you like stamping your feet, like Five of Wands, and like screaming that you're empowered? Or are you in a state where you're the Empress and you're like, I'm naked in the street because I'm radiating this energy that is secure in its sexuality? And I know that's probably going to be really sensitive, but if you understand what I'm trying to say here, there isn't really any gradation of um, sexual practice where people are consenting. Let me put that in big arrows. Um, Inside of consent, there isn't really any gradation for kink shaming, or slut shaming or prude shaming or whatever. Um, it's a matter of, are you empowered in that energy? Like, are you grounded in that energy? Are you in control in that energy? Are you in resonant alignment with that energy? Or are you on, like, holding on to that energy like a carousel and being dragged on the floor? That's the kind of difference that I'm trying to talk about here. If it's outside of consent, then, no. Like, you're starting off in the shadow to begin with, and it's not okay. And you may be, like, even that's hard. Well, I'm not going to get into that in this because this is only a daily reading, but for the purposes of this reading, we're only focusing on what's acceptable inside of consent for these energies. And for the purposes of this reading, we're just going to carte blanche say outside of consent, not okay. All right, so there's a much deeper discussion about that, but again, typically, generally, for 99% of the purposes, not okay. All right. Oh my God, what the hell? The moon energy. This is really long. I didn't want this to be this long, but secrets, shadows, fears. Oh, secrets. It's also secretions, which is probably why it's talking about sex. So there be that. And also 4 rods. How is that not talking about sexual stuff? And this kind of looks like the lady cave. Just saying. So I should probably put a trigger warning on this video because it might be upsetting. But if you want to get a personal reading, can get in there. My life purpose reading has specific relationship sector. It has like overall life purpose. It has work, which is what you do. It's not necessarily your job. And then it's got relationships, which could be familial or it could be romantic, sexual. So that reading might help, but I also have a lot of other readings that would be good for this kind of thing. There's I mean, even the ancestor reading, my twin flame reading, generic relationship reading. You could do the triptych door. You could do the yin yang, which is looking at comparing 2 opposites, which is what we're doing here. Could do the roadblock moguls. So all the readings are going to be down there in the description box. You can email me, CATcamebackatcamp@gmail.com. You could donate over here, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. And then I got merch and stuff over here. So everything through the link tree. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy. And we'll see you later. Bye.